What's happening? Mandela Effects. Let's do it. Showtime. Hey everybody, welcome back. Jeff Pilkington, Launch TV. Here at Launch TV, we are the future, and the future is Launch TV. That's right, we are back. 2020 Mandela Effect. It's been a little chaotic lately, lots going on. Kira and I did a podcast this past Saturday with Mr. Mark Schneider. He came in from Virginia. It was great talking to him. We had a great time. More Jeff and Kira Live coming up. More podcasts. We're always having fun with that. I also wanted to say, if you're liking these videos, please be sure to like, subscribe, chat. I love talking with you guys. The likes are always great. Subscriptions are always great. It's good talking to you. We're working towards 10,000 subscribers. I guess that's a big milestone. You get 10,000 subscribers, that's pretty exciting. I don't even know. I just kind of roll along with my videos and I have a good time and I like talking to you guys. So it's always fun to tune in. Been kind of out of the loop the last week on Mandela Effect, but I am seeing some 2020 Mandela Effects, also mixed in some older ones, but I try to keep them coming for you guys as much as I can every week or two. Always having fun with the Mandela Effect. More topics coming as well. We did a little live show last week. It was fun talking to some of you guys as always. Always good to see you there. Always fun. With that being said, let's get into some. The first Mandela Effect I want to talk about. Okay, so back in fall 2018, I worked on a little movie and had a lot of fun doing this movie. And the name of the movie was Ford versus Ferrari. That's right, Ford versus Ferrari, starring Mr. Matt Damon, starring Mr. Christian Bale, directed by director James Mangold. That's right, Mr. Mangold directed it. Had a good time working on that several weeks. Now the thing is, the movie that I worked on, there happens to be a little bit of a Mandela effect around. And it's a little bit strange because I'm just like, that's a little strange, because if you look at Ford versus Ferrari, it ain't Ford versus Ferrari. I just like snapped my fingers and like 10 seconds ago, the name of the movie changed. And now if you Google it, there's an S missing. It's now Ford v Ferrari. What in this world? I mean, even if you look at the trailer, if you look at posters, I mean, look at these posters all over the internet on Wikipedia. Ford versus Ferrari has gone to Ford v Ferrari. Now I get it, V stands for versus, but doesn't the V, where's the S? It was always Ford versus Ferrari. If it was Ford v Ferrari, it would have looked a little weird before, right? Like Ford v Ferrari. They lost the S. Ford versus Ferrari lost its S. What is happening? Like, that's a recent one. I even worked on the movie and I remember it being Ford versus Ferrari and the S just got up and walked away. It's like the whole cup of noodles thing, you know? It's like, cup noodles now? Like, what's happening to these letters? Why are they walking away? It was always Ford versus Ferrari. Let me know what you remember about that one below. That is really strange. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. Full House. You remember a show called Full House in the late 80s, early 90s? I think it went all the way up to 1995. There was a character in Full House played by Mr. Dave Collier, and the name of his character was Joey. And all of the kids in Full House, and also Bob Saget's character. What was Bob Saget's character's name? Somebody tell me what Bob Saget's character's name was. Bob Saget, America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, what a legend Bob Saget is. We gotta give him a round of applause, dude. Bob Saget, you know. Anyway, his name was Danny Tanner. That's right, Danny Tanner. Now, in the Tanner household, Joey was around, and also John Stamos' character was around, whose name was Jesse. Now, the thing is, people remember Dave Collier, who was Joey. They remember the kids calling him Uncle Joey, okay? Now, Stamos, his character was Uncle Jesse, obviously, because he was really their uncle. Now, Joey's character was not their uncle, but people still remember the girls calling him Uncle Joey. But if you look back at the show now, they never called him Uncle Joey. And why would they call him Uncle Joey? Because he wasn't even their uncle. So that doesn't even make sense why they would call him Uncle Joey. But people are walking around with this memory of the girls in Full House. What's their name? What are those twins or something? What are the name of the twins in Full House? Somebody tell me the name of those blonde twins. Olsen twins. The Olsen twins. Okay. The Olsen twins and the other two girls and all that, they called him, people remember them calling him Uncle Joey. They had Uncle Jesse. People remember Uncle Joey. What do you remember? There was Danny Tanner, Bob Saget, there was Joey, and there was Uncle Jesse, but people remember Uncle Joey as well. I don't know. What do you remember? Uncle Joey does sound kind of familiar to me, so it's weird. I don't know. Not as weird as Ford Ferrari. Like, I saw the Ford Ferrari thing, and I can't even handle it. Like, Ford v Ferrari. It was Ford versus Ferrari. There was an S. Anyway, moving on. Okay, let's get into some more. Let's go ahead and do the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, the Red Hot Chili Peppers had a famous song, and it was called Under the Bridge. Do you remember Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Well, the thing is, the song was released in 1992. It had a big breakthrough, and it was playing on MTV. I literally have to look at this lyric change because it's driving me crazy, and I listen to it. So in Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, people remember him saying, like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Angels plural. Angels plural. But now if you go back and listen to it, he says the city of angel in it. What happened to angels? Like, it's supposed to be angels, and if you look at the official lyrics, it even says the city of angels. But now when you listen to it, he says this weird angel. Like, it just says angel. Like, when did that's gonna give me a headache because I can't deal with it. City of angels, he always said angel. Like, I remember the city of angels, plural, but now it's city of angel. So it lost an S. So Ford versus Ferrari lost an S. And the city of angels lost an S when you listen to him say it. City of angel. That doesn't even make sense. Where'd the S go? So now he's not saying S, but if you look at the lyrics online, it says S. And Ford versus Ferrari online, there's just an S missing. It's now Ford V Ferrari. I don't know. Go figure. Can't figure that one out. Moving on. Okay. Marilyn Monroe. We all remember Marilyn Monroe. Very famous actress. The thing is, people remember in the 1950s, she sung a song, Santa Baby. People remember Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby. However, when you look back, that didn't happen. It was actually sung by Eartha Kitt, okay? And they're sure they remember in the 50s Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby. Philip Springer, Tony Springer, and Joan Javits, they were the writers. Do you remember it being sung by Marilyn Monroe, like singing and dancing Marilyn Monroe to Santa Baby? Because it wasn't her, it was Eartha Kitt. So apparently that has changed, but people remember Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby. What do you remember? Let me know in the comments below. Very odd one. Okay, let's keep going. On to the next. Okay, Lady Di. Now, there's a Mandela effect around Lady Di that is newer that people actually haven't heard of. What's weird about it is currently, when Lady Di was in that horrific, tragic car accident, there were 4 people in the car. However, people have a memory of 5 people being in the car. How many people do you remember being in that car? Because currently it's 4, but there's some people that say they remember there being 5 people in the car. What do you remember? So there's a lot of debate around that. It also parallels to the JFK assassination, in which in that one, there were 6 people in the car, but some people remember there being 4 people in the car. So when they see these extra 2 characters in the car for the JFK assassination, people are like, where did those 2 come from? No, there were always just 4 people in the car, the JFK assassination. And a lot of people are saying, no, there were 5 people in the Lady Di thing. However, currently record shows that there's 4. Do you remember 4 with Lady Di, or do you remember 5? Because it's always been 4. People remember 5. Let me know what you remember about that very tragic accident. How many people do you remember dying? Very strange. Okay, let's do a couple brand ones real quick. We all remember Play-Doh. Play-Doh's a popular thing when we were kids. Everybody played with Play-Doh. They even had Silly Putty too. Remember Silly Putty? What did you do with Silly Putty? Like, why did I like Silly Putty? Like, you just made it was like a bouncy ball or something, and then you, like, what else? You like stretch it? I remember doing like a stamp. Like, you could take the Silly Putty and you could do like a stamp on a newspaper, and then you pull up the Silly Putty and it would have like the... Why am I off topic? Okay, sorry. Anyway, Silly Putty was fun. You could make like stamps and stuff. Anyway, I got off topic. Play-Doh. Play-Doh. How do you remember Play-Doh being spelled? Because Play-Doh has always been P-L-A-Y-D-O-H. Dough, like Simpsons. Dough. But I remember it being D-O-U-G-H, like dough. Like, where did that's weird because there was always a U and a G in there from what I remember. But now it's like dough, like Simpsons. Dough. That looks really weird to me. Let me know if you remember about Play-Doh because it looks like the brand name has changed to D-O-H instead of D-O-U-G-H. Like, where did the U and the G go? That's a little strange with Play-Doh because that's the newer one and I don't remember that. On that note, next one. You remember the famous film studio Metro-Goldwyn Mayer? That's right. It's a famous film studio here in Hollywood that's been around forever, made a lot of the biggest movies that you see. The problem is there's a bit of a Mandela effect around it because people remember Metro-Goldwyn Mayer being spelled M-E-Y-E-R. Metro-Goldwyn Mayer, people remember being M-E-Y-E-R. However, record today shows that it's M-A-Y-E-R, much like Oscar Mayer, the hot dog brand. People remember Oscar Mayer. Have you seen the Wienermobile? You know the Wienermobile got pulled over like a month or so ago and got a ticket? If you're driving the Wienermobile and you get pulled over and you get a ticket, that's a massive accomplishment. I mean, the guy got a ticket driving the Wienermobile. Anyway, sorry, off topic again. Anyway, Oscar Mayer is now M-A-Y-E-R, but people remember it being M-E-Y-E-R. Remember the commercial? M-E-Y-E-R. Like, people remember it M-E-Y-E-R, but Meyer has always been M-A-Y-E-R. With an A, not an E. It's always been an A, but people remember an E. Do you remember an E? Because it's always been an A. Same with Metro-Goldwyn Mayer. It's always been an A. People remember an E. Does the A look weird replacing the E in Metro-Goldwyn Mayer, MGM, Louis B. Meyer, executive behind it? Why is that all switching around? That's a little strange to people. Anyway, we got Oscar Mayer, we got Metro-Goldwyn Mayer, we got Myers and Mayers and just words switching around everywhere. We got Play-Doh and silly putty and everything else. Whew, I'll tell you what, I get exhausted, short of breath just talking about these, you guys. I mean, literally, like, I need like a Xanax or something, because it just wears me out because I get stressed just talking about the Mandela Effect because I can't believe it. So it's just, I can't even handle it. All right, let's do two more Mandela Effects. The first one is the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Let's do a biblical one, okay? In the Bible, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. What do you remember the 4 horsemen being? What were the 4 horsemen? Because current record shows that they were war, death, famine. What was the 4th? Because I remember it being Pestilence. That's right. And X-Men has even made movies about it with it being Pestilence. The book of Revelations, it describes the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and they were known as war, death, famine, and pestilence. But now it's wrong, and it's changed in the Bible, and it's now war, death, famine, and conquer. Does conquer seem strange to you? Because we remember it being pestilence. Conquer? Like, that looks weird. So, yeah, and if you look at the Bible, it actually says Revelation 6:1, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, "Come and see." Revelation 6:2, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Revelation 6:3, and when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, so that text in the Bible, if you look at it, it now says conquer, and it's about conquering, but people remember it being pestilence. So they're saying it's strange that conquer is now what's emphasized. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have always been war, death, famine, and conquer, but people remember something about pestilence, it being pestilence instead of conquer. What do you remember? Do you remember that passage looking like that, or do you remember it being pestilence? So X-Men made some movies, and they had this as part of the X-Men movie. In the older X-Men, they actually had it as pestilence, the 4 horsemen in the movie. However, in the newer one, the modern version, they do have conquest. So X-Men also changed to conquest along with the Bible. So now the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in the Bible have changed to war, death, famine, and conquer, but people remember it being pestilence. So strange. Why is the Bible changing? I can't even can't even handle it. Like, people have different memories of how that was recorded in the Bible. What's going on with that? Strange. Okay, 2001: A Space Odyssey, famous movie, we all know it. Now, people remember Hal, the famous computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Y'all remember Hal? They remember him saying this line. What do you remember the line being? Because people remember him saying, "Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Dave," was the line. However, now there's no record of him saying, "Good morning, Dave." But people are like, that was a famous line. But if you look back, Hal never says, "Good morning, Dave." Very weird. So, "Good morning, Dave" from 2001: Space Odyssey by the AI computer voice Hal has disappeared. It's not in it. Just like "Hello, Clarice" and "Silence the Lambs" is no longer in that movie. He never says "Hello, Clarice." Like, that's just bizarre. Like, where did "Hello, Clarice" go? And then in The Matrix, Morpheus never says, "What if I told you?" In The Matrix, "What if I told you" doesn't exist anymore. So if you go back and watch The Matrix, "What if I told you" is now gone. "Hello, Clarice," the famous line said by Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, is now gone. There's no "Hello, Clarice." And now if you look back at the voice of Hal in 2001: Space Odyssey, he no longer says, "Good morning, Dave." Do you remember this "Good morning, Dave" line? Do you remember it being in there? Because apparently it's no longer there. People remember Hal saying, "Good morning, Dave." Let me know what you remember regarding Hal, the voice in 2001: Space Odyssey. Thank you all for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe. Here at Launch TV, we are the future, and the future is Launch TV. Comment below. Let's chat. I love talking with you guys. Have a wonderful evening. 2020 Mandela Effects. Having fun as always. Jeff Pilkington, Launch TV, out.